Broadcasting live, it's Cream Pie Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
And now for your hosts, give it up for Josh and Rick.
Oh,
yeah. Another one for the books. We got Eric over here, Mr. Kanye West Jr. It's going to be a very Jew-themed episode for all you creamers. So
I'm running out of sunglasses to wear. These are some of my last pairs, and once I run through them all, I'll stop wearing them. That's the rule.
Yeah. How many more do you got left?
I've got some aviators from the 80s that I've been looking to find, but I think that's like the only other pair. I mean, I only have like 5 or 6 pairs of sunglasses, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't worn sunglasses in forever, dude. Yeah, I used to wear them all the time. I always buy the cheap ones from the gas station, and because I don't want to buy the good ones, but, you know, I always lose them or they break or what have you. I think the best pair of sunglasses I ever owned was just a pair of Oakleys that I had for like a year or two, but no more. What about, do you have like Ray-Bans? Do you have anything nice?
I think they're called like, they look like Oakleys, but they're like Costas. I think that's the brand.
Oh.
I got a pair of those for the motorcycle and then another pair just for my car. But I think those are like $120. But I remember I went to like an Airbnb a couple years ago and I had them in the water. Yep. And I lost the sunglasses and those were $120 and the Airbnb was like $90. So I lost more money in the sunglasses than I did for like a 3-day weekend. I was like, dude.
$90 for 3 days? Oh, you're probably splitting it with other people, right?
Yeah, it was like a 3-bedroom that we split with like 12 dudes. It was like one of those college things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I went to a bachelor party this weekend over in Portland, Maine. Yeah, it was a good little experience. But I'm on my way there Friday morning, and I call my dad, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm just on the computer. I'm looking at the weather." I'm like, "Oh, can you pull up the weather for Portland? I forgot to look up, what it's supposed to be like." "Oh yeah. How do I do that?" I'm like, "Well, in the top somewhere there should be a place you can put a location or do something."
Right.
His response was, "Well, I can tell you what the weather's going to be in Green Bay, Wisconsin." I'm like,
"Yeah, that helps."
That ain't going to cut it, bud. And he's like, "I don't know." He gets all frustrated with me. I'm like, "All right, dude, whatever, screw it." So I show up with like sunscreen and like t-shirts and like cutoffs. Dude, it's like 60 degrees and rainy the whole weekend.
Oh my God.
It's like, damn it. I'm like walking around in like a rainstorm, just like in a t-shirt. It's like, I was not prepared for this.
That sucks, dude. Portland's great. I love Portland. Portland's beautiful. Nice little city.
Yeah, Portland's pretty cool, man. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's we did that. We did some virtual reality golf.
Oh, really?
So like you use the different clubs and like you tell like which one you're using. So and then you hit it off and you just hit it off into this giant screen or whatever. But that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Wait, do you wear goggles too?
No. It's just like a projected screen.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
you just
yeah.
line up and do that. But I couldn't hit the ball more than like 100 yards. So I would have to take like 5 swings at it just to get on the green, dude. It was ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a golfer at all.
What are those called, those golf screens? Because there's like people that have them in their garage and shit. And you can just like play golf any time of year, Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely like a rich person thing. Like if you just had that in your basement, like I think that means that you made it.
Yeah, pretty much. Speaking of basements, dude, I want a lair. Not like a creepy lair, but if you had like endless money and you know what I mean? Like you could build any house you wanted. Would you have like a lair?
I would make the entire basement floor be my man cave, basically.
But would it have like a secret entrance?
I mean, who am I trying to keep out by this point?
I don't know. But I would have a secret entrance for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Which one do you go with, though? Do you go with like the bookcase one where you pull the book and it spins the bookcase? Or you gonna, I mean, what other, the piano key, the classic piano key, you type the and then it opens up.
I like you pull the book and then the bookcase just kind of swings open, then you go into it and you close it behind you.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah,
or it could be a hardo and you could make me climb through a freaking washing machine every time you want to go get a beer.
Yeah, the old washing machine door trick. Yeah, that would be a pain in the tits. Yeah, that would be cool. You see in the cartoons, it's always like the rich evil guy has like the welcome mat, and then he hits a button, and when they're at the door, they fall down like a laundry chute into like a
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? I was always like when I was a kid, I just wanted one of those.
Didn't Jimmy Neutron? It wasn't his room. It was like he had that little like shed behind his house that like was his lab or something, right?
Right. Yeah.
But then Dexter's laboratory, he had the whole. I don't remember how he got into his lab, but his laboratory was fucking massive, dude. That was like a major brag growing up. Like that guy had it all. Other than his sister had like ADD up the ass.
Yeah. Yeah, that show was great, dude. Those old cartoons, man. Fucking Cat Dog. You like Cat Dog? You ever see Cat Dog?
Yeah, dude. Freaking
yeah.
Rugrats. The whole era that we grew up with cartoons, and I mean, I'm not afraid to say it. Like even Powerpuff Girls, I thought that was a pretty baller show for sure.
Mojo Jojo or whatever his tits was there.
Yep.
And then there was like a mayor. A mayor's name was Mayor. Yeah.
Well, now that I think about it, so those three girls were made in a laboratory. So like they're the first
laboratory. Yeah.
Laboratory.
Yeah.
They were made in a lab. So how does that fare in 2023 now?
I mean, China's doing it, right? They're making Powerpuff Girls in real life. They were made from sugar and spice and everything nice.
Something sweet.
Yeah. Kind of weird. Think about it. Now that I think about it, it's kind of fucking weird.
I just saw, what is it, like by the end of next year that they'll be cloning, or they'll be like fully lab raised children, like in China.
Yeah, they're probably already doing it, just not telling anybody.
I mean, I hate to say it, but you would almost assume that the first couple swings are not out of the park, dude. You're like, oh my God. What did we make?
throw another one in the incinerator.
Kill me.
Baby comes out.
Kill me. Kill me.
Yeah. Horrible.
They're born without freaking fingerprints. They have no soul. They're just like.
Well, that's the concerning thing, dude. Like, if there's anything to having a mother, like, carry around the child, there's got to be some sort of psychological thing that gets put into your body. Maybe not, but there's something empty about a human that comes out of a test tube, right? I mean, are they going to be soulless beings? Do you know what I'm saying?
They'd be like Mr. Meeseeks. They would just like have no purpose. They would just do what they're told.
Yeah. It's weird.
That's good for like, I'm sure it's been in movies and stuff, but like having those types of clones, like that style of human being just run the military, like people that do what they're told. That's kind of what they want in the military anyways, is to brainwash you into, I mean, not thinking for yourself.
There's plenty of narcissists that exist naturally anyways. So, yeah. So you just took a nap, huh? Fresh off the old nappy poo, Slick Rick?
Yeah, for a little half hour, dude. Yeah, the 3-hour drive back from Portland, I was just like, I didn't eat dinner last night, or I didn't eat breakfast this morning, and we basically drank for 2 days straight. And
Jesus.
The first night, I like laid down because we weren't doing anything. We were ready to go to the bar, and I woke up after like sleeping for like 20 minutes, and I had like the worst headache in the world, dude.
Oof.
And I wasn't even drunk. I was just like walking to the bowling alley, and it was raining, and I was like, dude, I can't fucking do this. I like went back and I just laid down and went to sleep. I went to sleep at like 10 o'clock on Friday night. But
damn.
That's I remember we went to go see a Red Sox game back in the day, and I drank a bottle of McGillicuddy's on the way down.
Yeah.
Worst freaking headache of my life, dude.
Oof. Dude, McGillicuddy's hangovers are the worst. Yeah.
It's like maple syrup and alcohol, dude. That's
Pretty
all it
much.
is.
Yeah. I used to get the root beer one and put it in the freezer. Be like, dude, it tastes just like root beer. You know when you're like trying all those shitty liquors when you just start drinking and you don't really know what you're doing yet, and you're just drinking all these garbage liquors, putting them in the freezer.
Just drinking like grape syrup or what is it, like menthol? Is that one of the flavors?
Yeah, I think so. There's a menthol. Like fucking.
You just want to drink this gross cigarette mint.
Yeah. They get Camel Crush McGillicuddy's. Oh, Christ.
So was Tito's the turning point for you? Because Tito's doesn't give you hangovers, or does it?
It's such a funny question. Was Tito's the turning point for you? Like for your life slowly spiraling out of control? Yeah, I don't know when I started drinking Tito's exclusively. I mean, I'll dabble with other things. It's not just like Tito's, but that's just my go-to. But yeah, dude, it's just, vodka, first of all, clear liquor is easier on my body for some reason. I don't know. I do enjoy whiskey. I love bourbon. I'll do like an old fashioned or something, or a little bourbon on the rocks. And that's fine too. That's not bad. But yeah, just clear liquor. I'll do clear, I'll do like silver tequila too. But yeah, I don't know when I started with just the Tito's. It had to have been, I don't know, like the past 8 years,
I think it was Albin Street. I think you've been doing Tito's you were definitely the first person that introduced me to Tito's. You were also like the first person that introduced me to like juuling and vaping.
Oh Christ!
Back when that was a fad.
Back when that was a fad.
As you're still doing it.
Well, I quit for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like to do it on the podcast. It's a nootropic. I know that sounds stupid and like an excuse, but I don't know what to do with my hands. I'm still awkward on camera. So I'm just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got so much shit to look at. I mean, I'm just kind of like looking all over the place. I don't know.
Yeah. Dude, what do you think about jazz music? Speaking of randomness.
Certain jazz, I can appreciate the energy, but for the most part, I don't listen to it unless I'm being like a smart ass and like I'm just trying to be weird with dinner or something. Like I'll say like play smooth jazz as we're like eating a steak and potato or something.
Right. I don't get it. I can't. So the jazz restaurant, Lita's new restaurant place that she's helping open and stuff, they have like live jazz almost every night. And it's just so random. Like you can't predict where the song is going. I can't do it. After about 3 hours, it's just random piano notes. Just like it's not on beat.
I don't know. Some of it's like not meant to. But like when you listen to intentionally bad jazz, I find that very comedically like satisfying. Like just like
yeah.
But obnoxious
what's intentionally bad jazz versus regular jazz? I feel like it's kind of like wine or paintings. It's something that wealthy people pretend to enjoy and understand, even though, like, you could give a wealthy person like a $5 bottle of wine and tell them it's the best bottle on earth, and 75% of them will believe you and talk about how great it is.
Yeah.
And they don't know what they're talking about. Just like you could force feed horrible jazz music upon the ears of the wealthy, and then they're like, this is just so artistic and beautiful, but it's just some guy farting on a snare drum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things.
It's like the same with art, dude. Like as soon as something goes up on the wall and your name is below it, like it's supposed to be something to look at.
Right.
And I don't know. There's been certain shows over the years where they've done that. They're like, oh, look, it's the sleepy Mexican. He goes, oh, no, I'm just really tired. He like gets up and he goes off and he does what I think that was on South Park or something. But it's like as soon as something's on display, it just like you're putting it on a pedestal. I don't know.
I don't get modern art like abstract shit where it's just like a red line on the wall and it's worth $1 million.
Yeah.
Or like a toaster behind like a glass like case. They're like, this is called toast. It's worth $32 million.
Or like a half drunk Dunkin's cup with a napkin next to it.
Yeah.
A glass globe. It's like, okay.
Yeah. This is just trash that you found and put in a globe. And why is it worth so much money? Well, dude, you don't get it. You don't understand. It's how it makes you feel. It's the art. No, it's fucking bullshit. Fuck out of here with that noise. Nonsense.
When I was a kid, I used to walk up and down the street and pick up trash, and whatever I'd pick up, so say it was like a bolt, I would put it on the middle of a piece of paper, and then I draw a smiley face around it. So somewhere there's a box full of smiley faces with trash taped to them. But that could potentially one day go up in a museum.
Yeah,
and people could look at my art from when I was 2 years old, just wandering the streets of Wisconsin. picking up trash, making smiley faces.
Yeah.
Art, dude.
Art, dude. You're a fucking artist. Picasso.
You do stand up this week?
Yeah, I did. On Wednesday. By the way, I think there's some comics that listen to this podcast now, so I'll be at Starlight on Tuesday, and I'll be at the Crown on Wednesday. Although this is going to come out after that anyways, so never mind.
That's this week.
Forget the plug. I have to start plugging 2 weeks in advance. But yeah, dude, I did stand up. I had a few good jokes. I brought this... I did my HBO Max joke that I did last week on the podcast. People liked that. But I actually brought somebody on stage because they were just sitting in the front row, and I asked her if she wanted to be a comedian. And so I brought her up on stage and then like told her the joke so she could say it into the microphone.
Yeah.
And I fucked the joke up. So the joke is HBO Max just got rid of HBO. Now they're just Max. You know, your move, Peacock. Like that's the joke. And had her say it. But I fucked the joke up. I said HBO Max just dropped the Max. Now they're just HBO. And I didn't realize I was fucking it up. So she said the joke and it didn't make any sense. But people still laughed. Like they still got it. And then after my set, the guy's like, my friend's like, you realize you fucked that up, right? And I was like, what? I was like, fuck. But yeah, it went well. I posted a clip on Instagram. And I tried the Robert Kennedy Jr. joke where, you know, the idea is if I were him, I'd be campaigning in a bulletproof helmet because family history. And then I say Joe Biden's a corpse and a bunch of people are like, ooh. Fucking wusses.
Yeah, but I see pictures of him laying on the ground daily, dude. You know?
Yeah, he just
how many
had
times is he gonna fall before they capture every time, dude?
Yeah. I love all the people that are in defense of him, though. Like, dude, I'm only 40 years old and I've fallen 25 times in my life. What's the big deal? Like, it's clearly not because he's old. It's like, dude, he tripped on he tripped on thin air. Like, he tripped on nothing. I know they said it was a sandbag. Dude, if you kick a sandbag and it sends you down like a sack of potatoes, I don't know what to tell you. It's not a good sign.
How old is he? Is he in his 80s?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
He's like ancient,
82?
dude.
Oh, well, dude, if he fucking runs again and wins, that's the scary part. He's going to be like late 80s or whatever. Because let's say, too bad we can't Google because of our apparatus.
Yeah.
It'd be an easy Google, but
yeah,
I want to say he's 82. So he'll be like 87 by the time he's done second term, which is terrifying.
We've talked about it before, but it's like, why would we have somebody that I wouldn't trust behind the wheel?
Yeah.
Behind the biggest
right
military power in the world. You know, that's crazy to be like,
yeah.
I wouldn't trust him to pick up the right groceries if you give him a list of 3 things, you know?
Right.
It's like, oh, I thought you said avocados. Like, no, I said milk. Like,
yeah.
What are you doing here, Joe? Come on.
Dude, let's say you franchise a Wendy's and you own the Wendy's. I wouldn't trust him to be at the cash register. You know what I mean?
He does nothing but like medium Cokes. He's like, all right, is that 13 medium Cokes? He's like, no, it's not. I didn't even order a medium Coke. It's like, oh shit. He's all just confused and disheveled. But it's because of ageism, you can't fire him. And he's just like, fuck, I guess I'm here for another 4 years.
Fucking Joe.
Shit.
Who's this old guy on the cash register? Oh, that's Joe. We're not allowed to fire him. Fucking Wendy's union.
He's just got the fucking 100-yard stare, just like drooling, just like.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody hands him a 50 and wants change. Good luck. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Imagine if like Donald Trump was a normal guy. Like imagine he was that guy working at Wendy's, but he had the same persona. He's like talking down to everybody that comes into the Wendy's like, oh, you really should be at the Wendy's. Oh, you couldn't go anywhere a little bit more special.
Yeah. Come to Wendy's. It's the best Wendy's you've ever seen. Believe me. I've heard it. Everybody's saying it's the best Wendy's.
We're putting up a fence. The fence is going to be great.
Yeah.
We're going to keep everybody out.
Yeah. Yep. Drug dealers and rapists, baby.
Oh. Drinking a freaking Bang Energy for the first time in months, dude.
Bang. Never had a Bang.
Cotton candy. Ooh, it's a little too flavorful for me right now. All my senses are just heightened a little bit.
Yeah. So it's those
still
shrooms
tripping,
you just...
Still tripping from the weekend. No shroomies for me, man.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
A lot of drinking.
Rough weekend for Rick. Yeah. So you drove home today, huh?
Yeah, I woke up at 6:30 and then I just kept coughing every 5 minutes so I couldn't go back to sleep. So eventually I just left. But it was funny. We show up and I was like, and this is all like the guys that I drank with in college, and I show up with like an 18 pack of Bud Light.
Oh no. Like, why would you do that? I was like,
are you guys going to give me shit for drinking Bud Light? And they kind of like joked about it a little bit. And they're like, no, you're fine. I'm like, I'm not going to wake up be a chick, am I? Like, I don't want that to happen. Like, no, I don't think we have enough Bud Light to make that.
Bro, should have picked up Coors or something.
I've never been a Coors or even like Miller. I've always been like a Bud Light or a PBR.
Pipper's not bad. I like PBR. But yeah, I mean, they're pretty much the same shit, dude. It's all just water pilsners, you know? If you could drink one, you could drink any of them. Yeah.
I'd much rather just get something off tap. Like, I like just going to restaurants and looking for something that I've never seen before. Like, that's usually my go-to.
Oh, really? For like domestics, you mean? Or like craft beer?
Like craft beer. Like, especially being up in Portland, like, I had beers that I've never even seen before. Like, that's all I drank all weekend. And then I come back and drink warm Bud Lights.
Portland's got some good breweries, man. They got Allagash's up there, which is good. They've got Maine Beer Company, I think, is in Portland. They've got really good beer. They've got one, what's it called? Well, they got the
Harpoon. Is it Harpoon that's up there?
Harpoon was big for a while. I think they're Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Because they're a New Hampshire brewery, but they kind of fell off. Like, their beer was really big for a little while, but
I can't remember what's between New Hampshire and Maine, because like there's like Fiddlehead, and then there's like Dogfish or something, and
Dogfish Head is Rhode Island, I think.
Oh, they're all around. Yeah.
And then there's a few in Portsmouth too. There's like Great Rhythm is good. You know, there's Smutty Nose was big for a long time. I remember Smutty, and then they had Smut Labs. And that's the one with like Old Brown Dog and Finest Kind IPA and shit. But they kind of like fell off too. Like, they almost went out of business, I think. It's weird. But yeah. Northeast beers are good, man. East Coast IPAs are the shit. Yeah. And then
back in the day, I don't know if you do drinking games anymore, but what was your go-to? Were you a beer pong kind of guy? Were you a cards, like Kings or something?
Yeah, for sure. So beer pong, I think, is overrated. I was never a beer pong guy. It's not fun for me. Like, even if you win, I don't care. Like, it was never my thing. I played my fair share of beer pong, but, you know, I was never in like a frat, and I didn't go to actual college. I just commuted to college. But it's like every fucking time you go to a party and there's a beer pong table, it's so hard to get a fucking game on the table, because it's just these two assholes or like 10 people that want to play that are just hovering around the table, constantly jumping. So you never get a fucking turn. The second you get a turn, if you don't win, you're out. And so you're off the table. But all these fucking guys are just so damn good because it's all they do. It's like, I just want to have fun and play a fucking game. And then Kings is really fun. Kings is great because you sit around a table, you all like, you know, that's my kind of game. The problem is, if there are people that have never played the game, they don't know the rules, and they're too drunk to fucking listen to the rules. So you have to like, all right, everybody settle down. Like, this is what the cards mean. If you don't know what they are, just ask somebody, you know? But
well, Kings is very easy to teach, for sure.
Yeah, they all rhyme.
Yeah.
But
I think Kings is my favorite card game, for sure. I think for playing, for drinking.
You know what I used to love is a Flip Cup. You ever play Flip Cup?
Yep.
Flip Cup was the shit. If you want like an active game, like drinking game, Flip Cup, dude. Every fucking time.
So we'll play this at my bachelor party, but we made up a game called Hung's Hunger Game. So it's 4-on-4. You have 5 cups, and there's one cup in the middle. And if you make one of the outside cups, everybody owns a cup. So say they make your cup, you got to drink that beer. That's 2 points. If you make the middle cup, it's 5 points, and then you have to do Flip Cup, and the last person to get it has to drink the middle beer. Jeez. And it goes by twos and fives up to 35. But dude, that's a good way to get like 8 people sloshed like in one game. I love it. I played that all weekend, dude. They got so out of hand.
That's crazy.
Because all of a sudden you get like on a, there's no better like feeling than being pretty buzzed and just like going on a heater of like getting on fire and just like nailing cup after cup. It's like, yeah, dude, this is a great feeling.
It's tough to get drunk fast on beer too. So if you get drunk off beer in like an hour, you know you're drinking a lot of beer. You know what I mean?
I think I only had a mimosa. That was the only liquor I had. I had a shot of vodka in it. Everything else was beer all weekend.
Really?
It's kind of surprising, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
No shots.
Beer is great, man, but it's just like, oof. After like 5 beers, I'm good. You know, I don't get bloated as shit. I mean, I get bloated anyways, but it's tough, man. It's tough to drink beer. Like, I can't party with beer like I used to.
Well, yeah, that was like Friday night. I had like 6 summer shandies.
Ooh.
Are you kidding me, dude? That was such a mistake. That's why my head was rocking by like freaking 8 o'clock. It was like,
those are
dumb.
good. Were those fucking Samuel Adams?
No, Leinekugels.
Oh, Leinekugels. Okay, that's another big one. Yeah. Yeah, those are good. Those are good. Those are tasty, but after like 2, you headache city, baby. Fuck that.
That's like all the there's not a lot out this way, but so that comes from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. So growing up, we would have 30 different types of Leinekugels, and my middle name is actually after Jacob Leinekugel. Kind of cool. My dad was a big beer enthusiast.
Oh, he named you after a guy that founded a beer company?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. What's your sister's middle name? Jack Daniels? Fuck.
Rachel Zanka.
Zanka. Yeah, it's based on what we were under the influence of when you were conceived.
Is Zanka like an old liquor? I feel like that's just something that sprung up, and because it's so cheap, I feel like a Zanka could not have a rich history of, we've been around for 50 years. It's like, God, what was that made of 50 years ago?
They're not advertising as like an old, like, we've been caring about how our Zanka tastes since 1853. You know how they do that with like whiskey? No, it's just fucking rubbing alcohol in a plastic jug. Like, good luck. If you're homeless, this is the vodka for you.
If you're in the Family Dollar, grab this little cardboard box full of whiskey.
Jesus Christ.
Or steal
Zanka.
it. You should probably just steal it by this point.
Yeah, meant to be stolen. Zanka. Zanka, if you have no self-respect or money, drink me. Yeah.
Dude, some of
Zanko's
that,
trash.
like, I think up until I drank Tito's, I never had a good vodka. Because it was always 3 Olives, or it was Pinnacle, or Grey Goose.
Grey Goose is good. I mean, those are like middle shelf. Pinnacle's not bad. I mean, it's not cheap per se. It's just not, Tito's is decent. I mean, Tito's is not really top shelf. It's just good. I mean, if you want like really good vodka, there's a vodka called Crystal Skull. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
It's super expensive. It's won competitions in Russia for like the vodka competition. But get this, the founder of it, Dan Aykroyd.
Really?
Yep. And it's Crystal Skull because like the whole alien thing where they found crystal skulls, like Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull or whatever. And Dan, is it Aykroyd?
I think it's Aykroyd.
Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd. I always say Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd fucking is big into like Bigfoot and aliens and ghosts and shit. That's why he wrote Ghostbusters. Because he's like into all that weird stuff. So he believes in like aliens have been here and we found their skulls. So he named the vodka company after it. But it's actually like this really high class, top tier vodka. It almost tastes like water. I've had it like once or twice. It's really good. Yeah, you could drink it neat. So
I know my dad's all up about Jim Belushi and his weed farm. And,
yeah?
So he's always like, does the dispensary by your house sell Jim Belushi's weed? I'm like, I don't know, dude. Do you think like I can just show up and ask that? He's like, and he looks up and he's like, no, there's nothing within hundreds of miles of you, so don't worry about it. It's like, all right, dude.
It's so funny. Like, you always think like all these celebrities have like their own liquor or their own weed strain or their own weed company and all this shit. And you're like, who the fuck cares if the Rock has his own whiskey or tequila or whatever the fuck? Kevin Hart's got his own rum, And then you realize people do fucking fall for it and they do buy it just because the guy's name is on it. Like your dad with Jim Belushi's weed. He just wants it because it has Jim Belushi's name on it. But he probably has nothing to do with it. It's probably just like, you know what I mean?
Well, he's actually very involved. He has a whole show. It's called like Raising Belushi or something like that. And it's all about like he's looking for certain strains and he's doing whatever. But
that's cool.
I don't know. I mean, I even saw something about the Terramana by The Rock.
Yep.
What they sold in the first year was more than whatever somebody else sold in like 2017 or 2007 or whatever it was. Right. And they sold that company for $1 billion. So he's already sold more than that company, and that company sold for $1 billion. It's like, dude, this guy's gonna rule the fucking world.
That's so
if
crazy.
anybody could do it, it'd be The Rock. Like, how long till The Rock runs for president, dude? Like, is that just like a silly question by this point?
I mean, we had a reality star as president already. It's really not out of the question. I mean, it's literally a popularity contest. He has like, I think he could win. That's what's crazy because he could appeal to people from both sides, you know, and he's a genuinely good dude. I think he's like the perfect human, you know, and he's like physical peak, you know, mental. Like, he's smart. He's friendly. He's kind. He's charitable. He's a role model, a family man.
Yeah, but you know he hasn't been like green his whole life. You know, I'm sure he's done things that if they were to come up now, I don't think he'd get canceled, but you can't think he's been perfect, you know, for the last 40 years.
I mean,
he said he had a rough upbringing for sure.
And if you look at clips of him like wrestling like 20 years ago or whatever, he does say some things that you're not allowed to, like, doesn't he call people like faggot and stuff or like make fun of retarded people or whatever?
That's just what they used to do back then, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not him. He's a product of his time. It was fine back then. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but the second he runs for president, you know they're going to come out of the woodwork and pull all that old shit up and, you know.
So you
Plus,
don't...
The cool thing about The Rock and why everybody loves him is because he remains neutral politically. The second he runs and he has to be on one side or the other, and you start to hear what he actually thinks about politics, he could turn a lot of people off. He could have like the most stupid stance on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, who knows? I don't even know what side. I mean, he's in Hollywood and shit, so I would guess he would run as a Democrat, which, you know, a lot of his fans are not Democrats. So
I'm guessing you've never seen the show Young Rock?
No, I'm good. Fuck that.
I think I've seen maybe 5 minutes of it, but I think the premises of that was he is president of the United States, and the whole show is like a flashback to him as a child, and then that's how they tell his life through the storyline. But like in the actual show, I think he's the president of the U.S.
That's kind of cool.
Which is kind of weird.
Yeah, a little foreshadowing.
Yeah. I mean, he's only pushing 50. I think he is 50. Maybe turns 50 this year.
We were talking about it, dude. You can only be that big for so long. Like, your body's going to start to fail. Whether it's muscle or fat, you know he's taking like all sorts of supplements. I mean, there's no way The Rock's blood is clean. He's got to be on all kinds of HGH, and he does cycles and shit. I mean, there's no way you're that pristine at 50 years old. Like, you're on steroids. Like, it's fine. Do what you have to do. It's your body. I don't give a fuck. Be on steroids. But I wonder how long he's going to last as like a physical specimen. You know what I mean?
I mean, even Arnold is like a shell of what he used to be, but Arnold's also like an old man now. Arnold
he's like 65 years old or something.
Yeah. He still whipped my ass though. That's for sure.
I don't know, dude. Did you watch the new show that's like #1 on Netflix? Like, I think it's called Fubar or something.
Fubar. I haven't seen it, but I saw the trailer. Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. I have not been an Arnold fan since the whole "screw your freedom" thing that he did a couple years ago. When he went on social media and said, "Screw your freedom. It's not about your freedom." And it's like, okay, buddy.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, like, first of all, you moved here for freedom. So maybe don't say that. But yeah, he said that. So I haven't really been a fan of him since, because it's like, I don't like when you get political. I know he was governor and shit of the governor or whatever. So he's already stepped into the political arena a little bit, but I don't want to hear your fucking politics and what you think. You're not politically, like, it's, I don't know. I don't want to get into it too much, but we watched the first 10 minutes of Fubar last night, dude. It is the worst fucking show I've ever seen. It is horrid. It is a big smoldering pile of Arnold shit. It's dog shit. It's like, it has the corniness of like an 80s action show, but not intentionally. You know?
I feel like it would have the same impact as if like Adam Sandler came out with a series right now. Like, you'd have the same, like, and you already know what you're getting. You know, if you've had this for the last 30 years, like, what else do you have to bring to the table? Like, don't give me another Jack and Jill, you know?
Yeah, Jack and Jill 3.
Is he just a badass old man that just plays by his own rules?
Yeah, he's in the CIA. He steals diamonds or something. I'm not going to spoil anything, but one of the first scenes, he's like, "Oh, you guys got me. I guess I have to take my cyanide pill to get it done for you." And he takes the pill, and they're all like, "Okay, well, let's watch you take the pill then. That sounds like fun." He takes the pill and he sits down, and they're like, "Nothing's happening." He's like, "Oh, I guess maybe I took the antidote." And then he sprays him with poison.
But he
like,
moves so
Jesus.
slow. He's just like, he's
Yeah.
like reaching over and like throwing things.
Yeah, he's got like that old man run of somebody that used to be really fit, but now is an old man where he's like, you know what I mean? And you could tell it's like, yeah, it's not good.
He's strutting like his pants are a little too tight, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Sir, do you have to use the restroom? Like, do you want me to point you to the closest? Like, are you
Yeah.
lost? Do you need somebody right now?"
But dude, it's bad. It's really bad. It's actually kind of funny how bad it is, but it's not supposed to be bad. So,
Yo,
Yeah.
do you watch Dave on Hulu? Or
I'm gonna
FX?
start the new season soon. I'm
Okay.
haven't watched the new season, but I heard they somehow managed to get Brad Pitt in this season.
Bro, season is pretty good. Season finale is like chef's
it's-
kiss.
Oh, really?
Oh,
So it's
I
already
love it,
done.
dude.
So the
Yeah.
whole season's over. Oh, damn! I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked the last season, man. But yeah, I heard they have some big fucking A-list celebrities on this season.
Dude, just the way they like interweave like the stories, like the way season 3 ended with Gata, and
Yeah.
he like goes out to perform and Gata comes out with him. Like that was such a cool reveal.
Mhm.
And it's like every single episode in the new season is just like that, where it's just like they lead it one way, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're involved with this, or oh, this is happening,
Yeah.
and it's so cool to like have these stories just interweave, and you almost like unexpecting when these things happen. Like I don't know, I think it's written very well.
Yeah, it's really well written show. I mean, even the last season was good. Like the first season was kind of goofy. Like you couldn't tell where it was gonna go or what it was
Yeah.
gonna be like because it was more comedic. But then they start to like pull on your heartstrings and shit. And it's like, damn. And you know, like was it season 3 when he's like is he hosting the Grammy? No, he's performing at the Grammys, and that's like the whole show is like him trying to or is that season 2? No, that was season 3, right? Last season?
There's season 3, yeah.
Yeah, and then he does like that performance where he comes up on the cross. And like, dude, not gonna lie, that fucking shit kind of slapped. It was kind of a dope performance. Like I rewatched it a couple times. I'm like, this would actually be a good show, you know?
Yeah, he's a good performer, but the thing is like I don't
Yeah.
really know where his career is going to go. I think he is hopeful that he can just be an actor and do the show. Like I
Yeah.
don't think he actually wants to be a rapper.
No, he's past that. No, I don't think he wants to be a rapper anymore. I mean, he hasn't really put out any music. You know?
he came out with a professional rapper. Like
What do you
over
think
5
about
years
that?
ago.
What do you think about a guy that's like a nerdy Jewish guy that grows up talking one way and rapping a completely different way than that he actually talks in real life? Is that like appropriation? Is that him playing a character that's a rapper?
Well, we talking
You know what I
about
mean?
the Beastie Boys now?
No, I'm talking about Dave. I'm talking about Lil Dicky.
I know we're talking about Dave, but it sounds like we're talking about all white rappers ever.
Not Eminem. Eminem is who he is. He is whatever he says he is. And if he wasn't, then why would he say he is? You know?
I feel like for somebody to be on Eminem's level, I feel like
Yeah.
you could only have that background. Like you can only be that
Right.
hard. Like except for
Yeah.
Drake. Like Drake kind of because he was in Degrassi and then he took over the rap game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
he
started
was like
from the
the-
bottom on a fucking TV show.
yeah,
already
Degrassi the
famous.
next generation, dude.
Yeah. Wheelchair Jimmy.
That was
Yeah.
his name, Jimmy.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not from that environment and you didn't grow up like on 8 Mile like Eminem did, don't rap about it though. It's that simple. It's fine. Just rap about other things. There's plenty of people that can still be hard rappers that didn't grow up poor or struggling or like in the ghetto, you know?
Yeah.
Just don't make that your thing. But I was just wondering what you think about like Lil Dicky kind of rapping like he's hard, or he puts on like the black scent. You know what I mean? Like he'll pronounce words differently in his songs. But then I can see both sides of it. I mean, it's just an art. You know, he could be just playing a character. Eminem's not really a serial killer, and he talks about that. So
Yeah.
maybe it's one of those things where if it's good and funny, you get a pass. You know?
I mean, it's an alter ego. I mean, he goes by Lil Dicky. He's not going up on stage as being Dave Bird. You know,
Right. Good point. Yeah. Good point. And
It's all
even
just
his
tapping into that.
even his name is a joke, right? Little Dicky, like it's a play on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That would suck being born with a mutilated penis. Like you know the story about his dick and everything. Was
Yeah.
it like a botched circumcision?
Something like that. Yeah.
And then they had to use the skin from his nuts and put it on his dick. So he's got like nut skin dick. Oof.
Yeah. I know it's a mess down there. I know it's real bad.
Yeah. That would blow, dude. Yeah. Dude, why can't Bluetooth connect to two things? Why is it 2023 and if you want two people to have headphones in and connect them to one phone, you can't do it?
I think you can connect two things to one phone, but you can't have like two phones to one speaker.
No, I mean like if I wanted to play something with two different headphones, it can only connect to like both can be connected to the phone, but you can only play it through one headphone at a time. Like why can't we just both like they haven't figured that out yet?
Oh, right. Yeah, because I'll connect to my Bluetooth speaker down here and then I'll connect to my headphones.
Right.
It'll say I'm connected to both, but it'll only play it through my headphones.
Right.
I know what you're saying.
Why can't you just play it out of both? Like they don't have the technology to do that now? Like Bluetooth's been around for what, 40 years?
It's been around for a long freaking time, dude. Bluetooth?
I remember when Bluetooth was first a thing, and then like voice recognition, like saying like, hey, call this person, and it would get it wrong half the time, but it was still impressive. Like my dad was like an early adopter, and it was. I remember thinking when I was a kid how crazy it is. He can just say the name and it'll call that person. You know.
Yep. Yeah,
remember Bluetooth? The douchebags that will walk around with like the Bluetooth headset on, like they're always ready to take a phone call.
I was thinking of that guy from Breaking Bad, the guy that just talks really loudly on the Bluetooth, and then Walter White like basically blows up his car, and he comes out and he's like, "Oh, what happened here?" I always picture that guy.
Yeah.
That guy's like the poster child for speaking loudly on your phone in public. What a dick, dude.
Dude, speaking loudly on your phone, I mean, if you have a Bluetooth headset in and you're talking to somebody, but you can't hear the person on the other end, I mean, I get it. It's fine. If you're on the phone, you're minding your own business over there. What's with people that talk on fucking speakerphone in like the grocery store?
And then they hold the phone up to their mouth. It's like,
you're holding the phone anyways. Like, hold it 1 inch different, and we don't want to listen to your fucking conversation. And I'm not going to say who does this, but we're both picturing the same kind of person in our head, aren't we?
yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yo, I was sitting on the, so our Airbnb, we had like a front stoop.
Yep.
And yesterday I'm FaceTiming Emily and I'm just saying like, oh, this is what we did last night or whatever. And I can hear this guy from around the corner just like yelling like obnoxiously. Don't know what's going on. Don't know if he's getting arrested, whatever. And all of a sudden he turns down the street, down the block, and I could see him. And he's walking down the sidewalk, but he's just got his head down. And he's like, I'm not going to repeat what he was saying because it wasn't appropriate, but he was just like going off, just like yelling at nobody. And Emily's like, is that somebody yelling on your phone? And I'm like, shh. I'm like, be quiet. He walks right in front of me, like 10 feet away. And he doesn't look up at me. But I was like, dude, I didn't want to get yelled at by some crazy homeless guy. Because they told me in the morning, everybody else woke up. It's like, yeah, that guy does that every morning at like 8 a.m. He just walks the street and just yells. It's like, man, I that's what I like about living where I live, because I don't have to worry about people just yelling aimlessly in like a city.
Yeah, dude, I've seen a lot of that, man. It's crazy. You got to wonder, like, what's going on in their head? Like, who are they arguing with? It's like, what does it look like to them? Because I'll talk to myself sometimes. Are they just like talking to themselves and they're, you know, they don't care what people think and they're like having like a practice argument in their head? Or do they actually believe that there's another person there that they're communicating with?
This guy was yelling like he was trying to pass a kidney stone as he was walking. Like he was like so angry. He's just like face is purple, like beet red. And he's got like veins popping out of his forehead and shit. And it's like,
my God,
buddy, mellow out. But yeah,
what
he's
a
just
fucking horrible existence.
Homeless guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sad, man. That sucks. Yeah, I'd like to just be like in his head for like a second just to see what it feels like. What's he going through? You know, what's he picturing?
There's a lot of people are just sick, man. Like a lot of people need to be on medication, and unfortunately, like they get into the homelessness and they're just fucked. Like they have nothing that can help them.
Used to scoop those people up and like put them in institutions and try and help them and shit. Now they're allowed to just run around screaming at stop signs. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. The whole mental health system and even people go into prison because like they can't afford housing or like they're just homeless themselves. So they can make crimes so they can go into prison. And not that jail is like a good alternative, but I mean, there was a kid that we went to high school with that he told, I forgot, he was like robbing a Rite Aid or something. He's like, just so you know, I stole this. Like, I'm going to be sitting outside, call the cops. Because he had no other alternative. He just went to prison or went to jail that night for stealing something because he had nowhere else to go.
They've got to give you food and they've got to give you a bed and a toilet, right?
And it's not going to be raining on you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not ideal, man, but it's better than the bridge, you know? Unless the problem is a lot of these guys want to do drugs and you don't get drugs in prison, or you're not supposed to at least. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know, man.
Messy program that we're playing.
Yeah. Dude, you ever been axe throwing?
Like hatchet throwing? Yeah.
Hatchet? Or like
either.
So that's the small one, right? Like the one-hander?
I think I have done axe throwing.
That's the two over the head. Right?
Yeah. I've done that.
Yeah.
I've
never done it. No.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. I want to go to like an axe throwing bar, and I've never been to one. Just get fucking hammered and just throw axes around. It's crazy.
But the thing is there's no guard because the first time you really get into it and you throw it and it bounces perfectly off the handle and it comes back at you.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it's like it takes your breath away. You're like, holy shit. Like this thing just fires off the wall right back at you and it's kind of sketchy at times.
If you own a business and you want to start an axe throwing place at your bar, how much does your insurance go up? Like
probably
your business
significantly.
Insurance.
It's got
how many people? How many like injuries are there? Do you think? Like I said, I wish we could Google this, but I wonder how many people like get fucked up at those places like a year.
Well, even at the freaking the whatever the place in Hooksett Space Center, they had an axe. They had a axe throwing thing in the arcade. It was like a whole. It was like a quarter of the building was nothing but axe throwing. But that's all people, walking around with their kids playing arcade games and then drinking expensive beers and going to throw axes. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
They have little kids doing, but that's the kind of thing where you have like the guy. All right, guys. So today we're going to go over the safety orientation. This is how you hold the axe. This is how you throw the axe. It's like, oh Jesus. Like, just let me figure it out. Let's have the fun, dude.
Get out of here, nerd. I want to throw a fucking axe.
Don't tell me where to stand. I'll stand where I want to stand.
I'll stand where I'm goddamn good and ready there, pal.
I'm sorry. I thought it was America. I'm sorry.
Fucking communist. Yeah, I wonder how many people get fucked up. I mean, they probably have people watching, right? I'm assuming there's attendants that make sure that nobody's like going in to get the axe and somebody else is throwing it at the same time and shit.
Yeah, I mean, you've got lanes and stuff, but I mean, I'm sure it's the same as like at firing ranges, like people that are holding like a Desert Eagle and they fire it and all of a sudden it comes back and cocks them in the nose and like breaks their whole face. Like,
yeah,
I remember seeing a lot of those videos on YouTube.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid, dude. Or like worse is when the chick is firing like a long arm and like puts her head behind it. Like, and oh my God. Woo. Yeah.
Just gets her bell rung. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, natural selection, baby. What are you going to do?
So we talked about beer. We talked about Joe Biden falling down.
Yeah. Took a little tumble there.
That's all we did this sode, but whatever, man.
Yeah, we talked a lot about drinking for a good portion of it. But hey, man, that was your weekend, and we're reporting on the most important things. So
I have a mimosa upstairs that I'm ready to slug after this, just to keep it going.
Yeah, little hair of the dog, baby. Drink a mimosa, take a little nappy poo. Wake up tomorrow, you'll be fresh as a baby's bottom.
Gonna go to Planet Fitness. I'm gonna go get a lift in. I haven't lifted in like a week. I'm about to get after it, man.
Fuck yeah, dude. I gotta go to the gym too right now after this. So swag. Thank you, Creamers.
Seal it, daddy.
Sealed the deal on another sode, Creamers. We'll see you in a week.
Bye.